we saying here? And no, I'm just playing some Fortnite today. You probably thought it was gonna be another rant or me trying something new, maybe. I don't know. But today I'm just playing Fortnite. To be honest, I'm kind of bored. And I looked at my past uploads and noticed I haven't uploaded in about a week time. And I was like, dang, it's really been that long. You know, I know I'm not a big YouTuber to the point where I can just start, going in doing daily uploads, but I looked, I was like, oh, a week? Like serious? But how you guys doing though? I never asked y'all that, so I thought it was something nice to say because I never asked my subscribers that question. Hopefully you guys are doing pretty good. Sometimes life likes to bite you in the butt, but you gotta get over it sometimes. Get past it. If you're wondering why I sound either messed up or not enthusiastic about it or playing, is because I'm not really feeling that good. I woke up this morning about 7 or 8 in the morning, and I had this massive headache to the point. I don't think even if it was a headache, I don't even think it was a headache. I think it was a migraine, to be honest. I really do think it was a migraine. Ooh, this guy's pretty good. Ooh. Well, anyway, yeah, I woke up and had a migraine this morning. Felt really bad. And then I tried to fall back asleep. Couldn't really fall back asleep. And then eventually I did. I took a sinus pill. I was like, oh, I hope I can fall back asleep. Because I don't know about you guys, but I really don't like waking up in the morning. And I'm just not a morning person. Sometimes it just depends on what my mood is. But yeah. But I guess for you guys, this is different from my normal content. Usually I'm ranting about something, or the other day I tried something out new where I was basically trying out Fallout 76. I gotta say it's okay, but compared to New Vegas and like Fallout 3, eh, I don't know about Fallout 3 because Fallout 3 it's okay. I'm not gonna say it's the best, but I take New Vegas over Fallout 3. That's just my opinion, though. And I thought it was okay. Like, the story was lacking, and then E3 came around, Bethesda, or basically Bethesda, but the people who worked on the game said they're bringing back NPCs, which, first off, why were they not in the game in the first place? I know many games that could put NPCs in online games, and it wouldn't be that hard. Like, they could have brought an outside game company to help them out with it and just not waited so long to the point. And then they also introduced Battle Royale. You know, there's only a few games I played Battle Royale wise. That's DayZ, uh, Apex Legends, and Fortnite basically. I like Apex. And I've been playing Fortnite since season 2 or 3. Forgot which season it was, to be honest, that I started, but I'm pretty sure I started season 2. But I started playing for real season 3, if you get what I'm saying. And then most people out there will say, well, Fortnite's dead. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's still the highest. Well, it's beating Apex right now, so. Honestly, I mean, it could be dead for the person that they're talking about, but I don't see it being dead. It's still making money. They're still making money off of it, and it's getting daily update. Well, not I said daily updates, weekly update. Oh, Let's scratch it. You get what I'm saying. The game's still getting updates, so I don't see the game being dead at any point. And what was it? They showed off Borderlands 3, which I may get when they just, like, have a sale or something on it, you know. Sales are always good to go with. Ooh. Oh, she stole my kill. Well, whatever. Oh, thank you, sir. I will take that. He just dropped his gold shotgun. Like, I don't want this anymore. I've never ran into a person who's never dropped a gold compact shotgun unless they were noobs. That guy does not look like a noob. Well, not a noob. I mean, on here they call them no skins. Well, on the PlayStation, we all call them no skins, and it's kind of been sticking. Like, you know, I have a friend. We like, oh yeah, you a no skin, and he's like, they get skin. And it's like, yeah, nah, you'll be always considered to me as a no skin. You know, it's a little run-on joke that me and my friends came up with. What else? What else happened at E3? Oh God, there's so much. Square Enix is basically coming out with a Final Fantasy VII remake. Ooh, yeah. A lot of people have been waiting for a long time for that. I'm not trying to be like unenthusiastic about it. Yo, guys, get what I'm saying. English is hard. If you don't believe me, look go to. You probably have friends that think English is hard too. Like people who are foreign, it's hard for them to learn English because English is actually a hard language to learn, and it takes like years of practice to learn English. Yeah, I'm not kidding you about that. That's actually a true thing. But going on to it, like I'm interested. I played Final Fantasy 15, but not the deluxe edition or the royal edition that was the actual full game, which, you know, kind of Square. I'm kind of mad about that, you know. Paid $60 for your game and you're not going to give me the royal whatever it is, the actual game. And the story was so confusing for Final Fantasy 15. Like I half the time I didn't know, and then I literally just looked it up and it's like, what? Like there's a comic that goes with it. I was like, what the heck? You know, like, you know, I kind of started out with Final Fantasy, like, I guess late. But from what I saw of Final Fantasy VII, it looked really, really great. I think they're using the same engine that was on 15, but I think that I don't think it's going to be the same story as 7. Unless, I guess it is, because they kind of did something similar with Resident Evil 2 remake or whatever. And it was like, oh, it's not the same game. It's like, then what's the point of making a remake of it if it's not the same game? Like, you know? Like, that don't make sense. And then I guess I kind of liked Final Fantasy VII Remake. And they showed off a lot of characters. Baron, Cloud, a few others, Yuffie, Tifa, and all of them. And if somebody in the chat down there or later on's like, oh, you talk about Final Fantasy, but you really don't know the underlying. I bet you don't know the characters. And it's like, yeah, I do. I know most. I know about Final Fantasy, and I know about the characters, or at least I know enough of the story. And then what else did Square? But no, mostly Square was putting out remakes, and I was like, everybody in the chat was going like every like I don't care what people say. The chats for E3 are super toxic. I don't care what people say. There are some toxic people in them chats, and I'm just like looking over at the chats. People saying some toxic stuff, like, you know, the Bethesda E3. They were talking about how much money did Bethesda pay their these audience that, you know, basically were supposedly fans and stuff. I kind of do believe that, you know, because everybody in the chat was pretty much dogging Bethesda. If they got actual people uh, in there in Bethesda's E3, I feel like everybody would have just, like, I don't know. I mean, they might have acted normal, but, you know, some people can't express themselves in public. For example, if you're like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Is that oh, that's the new proximity gun thing. Well, what's the word? Antisocial, yeah. If you're very antisocial, then yeah, maybe that might be a reason. But like, I've heard this phrase before. Like, you know, if you're like in like a real place with a person, they're not gonna act the same way they would if they were on the internet. I kind of do. I actually do believe that, to be honest, because I've had multiple friends who are, you know, different than the way they act in real life, if you get what I'm saying. So I do believe I do believe that. Sorry if you hear me do that a couple of times, and if it annoys you enough, but you know, that's my stream, you know, you're gonna hear me cough a little bit. That's just normal, and I can't edit out the cough, so because it's a live stream. If I was actually editing the video, then yeah, I'd be able to edit out the coughs, but the only reason I'm streaming is because it's an easier way for me to do it right now without taking multiple minutes of my day. You know, to be honest, I really wasn't paying attention to score, but going back to the streaming deal, you know, I don't want to take too many minutes out of my day just to go in and edit a few so, and ands, or buts, or you get what I'm saying, to certain words. And it just takes too much time, to be honest. Like 20, it takes like about a good hour to go in and make sure everything is right, put in the right clips and everything. So I thought streaming might be better, and it might, you know, it might be better for you guys, and it might be better, or like easier for me. And most people say, "Why are you playing Team Rumble? Why don't you play an actual game?" Because I played actual games. I played on actual solos before, and most of the people on there are kind of sweats. I've ran into most sweats when every time I get into a game, there's always a sweat or a Buildy McBuilderson or a Campy McCamperson. That's what I call campers and builders in this game. But nah, there was a pretty good amount of games at E3 this year that I'm kind of interested in. Uh, God, dude. I'm surprised. Well, actually, I'm not surprised PlayStation didn't show up at E3 because, you know, they want to kind of keep things secret, you know? They don't want to unveil everything. I kind of give them kudos for that, because if they didn't have nothing for E3 this year, then they shouldn't have bothered going. Now the one, ooh, if this was a rant video, I'd be dogging on this one company, like straight dogging on this company, and everybody dogs on this company, and that company starts with an E and ends with an A. Yeah, y'all know it's EA. Their E3 was so horrible. I don't know. I don't know if it was just me or most other people, but I went in. I went into like one of the Sims, like just like one of the Sims, because I play the Sims. If you got a problem with that, hit up with me. But or take it up with me. That's what I was trying to say. But I was looking into like their Sims, the actual Sims stream, because they had a Sim stream. I was like, oh, they're doing something for the Sims. Maybe it'll be something that people have been asking for. I don't know. Maybe university life, like people have been asking for like, I don't know. Mostly, I say, I don't know, the past couple of years. You know, most people been talking about it. After the seasons came out, everybody wanted university next, and so I went in and I was thinking, maybe they'll do something good this time. Maybe EA will do something good, and they'll actually go in and give people what they want. And this is only for the Sims community, well, and that in Apex, but I'll get on Apex later because, you know. Anyway, getting back to it. Everybody's been asking for University Life. Once you know, I wouldn't doubt it. New gameplay mechanics, but I'm thinking y'all do know this is kind of a step back from The Sims 3, maybe The Sims 2, and everybody just, you know, just sits there, claps their hands and everything, and it's like, no, like I'm not taking this anymore. And that's why I stopped buying DLC for The Sims 4, because it's like y'all literally downgraded The Sims. EA, y'all literally ruined The Sims. Like, one of the game franchises that a ton of people kind of like. I don't know. Like, most people like The Sims. But no, I went in and they're like, oh, we're bringing an island life or something like that. It's like basically Island Paradise from The Sims 3 but downgraded. And I'm like, you know, like they should have named this game Sims 3.5, because that's what it is basically. In my opinion, that's what it is to me. And then they have some dude come out on stage and he's like, well, not on stage, but I forgot his name, but he was talking. He had to, I don't want to say a word because I don't want to get demonetized or my channel be taken down, but you guys get the point. I don't know who, I think it was EA. They brought this YouTuber streamer on there. I don't know his name. I really don't care, to be honest, about who he is. That tells you a little bit about EA. And then I was like, this is like, y'all couldn't have came out with cool stuff like into the future, like stuff like we go into another map, or like not into another map, but you know, like how they did with Sims 3, stuff like they did that was cool. You could drive cars around, you know, you make your own house. Well, you can make your own houses in the Sims 4, but there's some stuff between those two games that some of it, one has better, and I say the Sims 3 is kind of better than the 4. Like I mentioned, you can drive cars on Sims 3, but you can't drive cars in Sims 4. Those are background models. And they're like, well, people are like, well, it's supposed to make it to where the game isn't like chugging on your performance. And I'm like, you know, I don't really care if it was chugging on my performance. I kind of liked going in and playing and like not hitting a load screen every time you went to a certain location. That was actually fun. But every time you go to a new location in The Sims 4, guess what? Load screen, load screen. You know, that's one thing in games that you would think in 2019 that wouldn't be a problem is load screens. You would think that there would be no load screens in any game by now. But no. No, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be any. Like, if there's like, oh, you're just going into a building, there's a load screen, I'm fine with that. But when you have to literally exit a place, load screen, then go to another place, load screen, then it's kind of annoying. Like, you know, I expect not to hit a load screen about every, like, 10 minutes. Well, not every 10 minutes, but every minute. And then, like, it's like, I don't want to play this game anymore, to be honest, you know? Like, after all this, I just don't want to play the game anymore. Or deal with it. Like, it's just, no. No, EA. I don't want you here. Just like, I don't know. It's just like EA just tries to find stuff for certain games that they've, like, literally messed up. Like, I bet if what was it, Maxis wasn't a part of EA anymore, they would struggle at first, but I feel like they do better. Like, imagine instead of The Sims 4 being in that engine that they're in right now, The Sims is in Unreal Engine. Like, imagine that, The Sims being in Unreal Engine. That'd be pretty fun. Like, you know, models don't look that bad, you know, and all that. And it doesn't, I know it doesn't take that long. Well, it might take a little while if you're talking about The Sims, but you guys, you know, I think EA has like a one-track mind where it's like, you know, let's they're like the people or the game companies like Maxis, like they plan what the game's gonna be about, right? They're like, okay, here's the game. And EA looks over and they're like, well, you know what we should do? We're gonna take the whole game, right? And we're gonna take these few things and then put it in as DLC. Or they worry more about well, kind of like Bethesda does, because I think they do the same thing, kind of, but not as bad as EA does it. Not sure, to be honest. But yeah, and then Apex Legends. I'm sorry, EA, like, or Respawn, because Respawn used to be Infinity Ward. Not gonna lie, Infinity Ward made Ghost and I think the Modern Warfare games. Those were good games. I don't care what people say. People might say, well, Ghost was the worst Call of Duty game. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. The story was, in my opinion, I wouldn't say it was good as a Black Ops story. That's my opinion. Like it's not as good as the Black Ops stories in World at War, because technically World at War is also part of Black Ops because the stories connect. Not World War II. I'm talking about World at War, the OG World at War. It's not as good as those stories, but it was a good story. It was something new compared to, like, I don't know, it was something new. I'd give it that much. It was something new. Like, you got the Federation, like, in South America, and they basically took over the US's, like, you know, one of the US's, like, the Odin or whatever it's called. And they basically destroyed the US. That's a good story. And then the US trying to recapture America, or basically the US military. Like, and then you see the open world, and it's like all the places are in shambles, and I'm like, this is a good game. This is a good game right here. I don't know what people were making. Now the multiplayer was subpar, and I thought the aliens idea was okay. I don't know why most people hated it. It's because they wanted zombies. That's why. And it's like, you know, at this point, I'm kind of bummed out by zombies. Like, you know, after Black Ops 2 and Origins ended, I thought, nah, that's a good way to end off the zombie story. You know, that's a good way to end it off. Just, oh, they it ended off with like a cliffhanger, and a good cliffhanger, like the type that you would see in like Half-Life 2. And don't get me started on that. Just roll with it. So anyway, I thought it was a good ending for the zombie series. But I'll get later on into that, because that's going to be just a whole nother tangent. And I didn't want this to turn into a rant video. I just wanted to mainly turn it into a gameplay video where I'm just playing Fortnite, having fun. Now it's turning into a rant video because, you know, I'm going off the handle right now, you know, as they say. Or basically kind of ranting again, you know. Well, the problem is was it no, because I think Infinity Ward left. It was Sledgehammer who made what was it? I think it was Sledgehammer who made Infinite Warfare. I think in Sledgehammer. I don't know if I'm wrong about this. Correct me down in the comments, because I'm not really sure if Sledgehammer did it or Infinity Ward. But I'm pretty sure by then Infinity Ward left after Ghost, which was kind of sad because I wanted to see a Ghost 2 because the story was actually really good. Imagine having that story imagine having Ghost 2 instead of Black Ops 4, which Black Ops 4 didn't even have Black Ops 4 didn't even have a story. It just had Battle Royale, zombies, and then multiplayer. Most people were mad about it too. They were mad at Activision for taking out the story, and I was like, yeah, y'all should be mad. Like, you pay $60 some for this game. There's no story in it. The multiplayer feels like a downgrade from Black Ops 3, and most people were like, oh, they're finally going back to the old gameplay of Call of Duty. And then I'm over here thinking, no, no, this is a downgrade. Y'all are running off of what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all are running off of, I was gonna say immersion, but that's not the word. Give me a sec while I think of this word. y'all running off all the good old days where y'all used to play Black Ops 2 and it was just run and gun, right? That's what y'all are running off of. The good old days. I don't know what the word is, so I'm just going with this, okay? I'm just going with this little word I'm trying to figure out. Jesus. Anyway, y'all are thinking about the good old days when it was a run and gun game. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is a step back from Black Ops 3. Like, to be honest, I didn't care about the mech stuff. I thought the mech stuff was a big upgrade from Black Ops 2 because you think about it, Black Ops 2 was in a futuristic time period, right? It ran off of Mason's son, and David Mason or whatever his name is. And that the first two and even World at War's World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2's campaign stories had good stories. And then Black Ops 2 was left off at a cliffhanger. And if you don't really, and if people say, "Oh, there was no cliffhanger," yes, there was. At the end of Black Ops 2, you see the Menendez dude, something meeting up with Mason when Mason's like super old, or was it his friend Frank? I don't know who it was, to be honest, but it ends up with either Menendez getting out of prison or something like that. It's a cliffhanger for Black Ops 2, but they could have had all the intention of going back and finishing that storyline off. But what did they do for Black Ops 3? They run with a different story. They could have ran with the story, a better story, where basically Menendez gets out of his little prison and they have to track him back down. He gets back to where, like, you know, how he's like always one step ahead of them, like how back in Black Ops 2. And then something big happens, and I would have been happy with that. But no, let's go with they're in simulations and it's all high tech, and it's like, no, you ruined Black Ops by that story. It had so much potential in the original Black Ops story, only for it to be like thrown out like a piece of trash. Like, Jesus, like Activision. If it wasn't EA, it has to be Activision. And I'm not trying to be mean and all, but sometimes Activision makes bad mistakes. I don't know. They just make bad mistakes sometimes. What else? But I see they're trying to turn themselves around with the Modern Warfare game. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, is this a remaster? And I'm thinking, because Infinity War is gone. Infinity War is gone. So it's not a remaster. And they're like, well, it's a reimagining of Modern Warfare. I'm like, okay. From what I've seen, it looks like we have a young Price. And I'm like, you know, maybe the story will actually be good. They're trying to go off their roots, you know? And that could be, you know, most people agreed, like, this is a good idea that Activision's doing. But let me let this know. Let me let this known right here, right now. If they mess this up, I'm not ever buying another Call of Duty game. I don't care how big or how good it is. I ain't buying no more Call of Duty games. And that's facts right there. Cause what's it called? Activision always tries to mess something up. Oh, we're gonna put loot boxes and microtransactions in the game. You're gonna have COD points and all that. It's like, no, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for microtransactions to be in a $60 game I bought for. DLC was okay. Like, I was okay when they started putting DLC in the game. But now y'all gonna put microtransactions in? I think the only, well, aside from the fact, the only game company that came out with this that actually did good, and I mean, not like, you know, the one that actually showed the entire game industry how microtransactions would work was Fortnite. Because they showed them that it could be a free game, but you can make money off of it, you know? And there's been other games that do that, but it's like, Fortnite was the one that hit mainstream, and showed EA and Activision that, you know, maybe if you had a free game, like, I don't know, if you made Blackout free, maybe most people would get it and then like, oh, yeah, this is cold. But no, I've tried out Blackout. Blackout is, I'm not gonna lie, you, it's so not hard to kill people, but it like, and it doesn't involve skill, but it kind of involves skill. You guys get what I'm saying? It's like the I'm trying to say is that basically the guns are not balanced correctly. In my opinion, they're not balanced. Cause I'd get like a gun and probably down like one dude. Next thing I know, this guy has like full on armor and stuff. And next thing he knows, I'm get one shot and I have the same amount of armor as him. So I was like, you know, it's a good Blackout. I'm done with Blackout. I was like, I'm going back to Fortnite. Now I heard that Apex is having a season 2, and I think it's kind of I'm sad. Like not sad, but it's kind of sad when you look at it because I think EA kind of messed up, like they did again. Well, like they've done multiple times, and basically did something. I've heard they did something with Apex on Twitch or something, where they started limited the game or something on Twitch live streams or something like that. And that's why, or at least that's what I think, and that's why it's not doing as well as it is or was doing on Twitch or something like that. I don't know, to be honest. I think that's what I've heard, but I might be wrong. If you want to correct me down in the comments. But I think that has to do something with it. Usually, like I said, EA likes to mess things up. Like they're the type of people that think they're the type of people. If you've ever heard the saying, it's like, have you ever heard the saying where it's like, don't fix something that's not broke? That's EA right there. They don't they fix something that's not broke. Basically, that's what they did with Apex. Kind of. And but I still say if I was kind of like bored of Fortnite, I'd still get on Apex. But now another DayZ, it's okay, but not too good. And you're like, it's like, first off, it's an okay game. But killing people, you have to have skill in the game, like, you know. And I've seen some people have exploited on that game. Like, I've ran into people who've lagged a lot on DayZ. So yeah, thinking, wow, this is not a good thing for the people who made DayZ. And then Bethesda thought of, you know what, maybe this year we should give them what they've wanted. And then like Todd Howard's like in a meeting room with Pete Hines and whoever else is at Bethesda, and they're all in this like waiting room, or not waiting room, in this business room, and Todd Howard's like, okay guys, so we've literally messed up Fallout 76 to the point where people are still bashing it, you know? Like, and then he's like, so what should we do? What should we do with the game? Some guy's like, well, why don't we, you know, give the people the refunds back? Like, give them their money back. Give the game either. And one guy's like, let's give them their refunds back, you know? We kind of messed them up, and, you know, maybe we should just give them their money back. Todd Howard's like, okay, you're fired, sir. He's like, sir, okay, that's a good idea, but you're fired. And he's like, get this man out of my office. And then he's like, no, and give him the refunds. And he's like, no. And he's like, okay, don't listen to that guy. Okay, um, okay, you over there, what should we do? And he's like, I think we should just keep making the game a little bit better at a time, but not put out as many updates and fixes as people want it to be. Not only that, let's make it to where they have to wait for mods and private servers even longer. Todd Howard looks over, give this man a raise, give this man a raise. And then he's like, okay, before we leave, I'm gonna ask my trusted friend Pete Hines over here about what should we do next. Like, also what should we do with the game next. So Pete Hines gives this man a good grin to Todd Howard. He gives him a grin, and he's like, what we should do is we should look at what they've been wanting. Let's go to last year's E3 comments and see what they've been wanting. And then they just look at the comments and everybody down there's like, oh, Fortnite 2 or something like that. And then they're like, oh, say they want Battle Royale in this game. Maybe that's what will turn it around. And then Todd Howard's like, you're a genius, Pete Hines. And then it's like, then I guess that's how they got Battle Royale and Fallout 76. I don't know why they would just put it in. Because, I'm not gonna lie, from any Battle Royale that I've played in the recent years, I gotta give my honest review because I've played it. I will say it is creative. It is creative. It's a 50 instead of 100. It's a 50 versus, I don't know. Or is it a 72? I forgot how many people it is in each match. But it's kind of like a downgrade from Fortnite. There's not that many people in there. And not only that, you can use power armor, which contradicts the you can't. It basically contradicts the whole game. Because when you go in the actual game, you have to level up to use power armor, which I thought, that's okay, but it's not that hard to get levels in the game. So it kind of contradicts the game a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Killing people in the game is not that hard, to be honest. But the main problem I have with it, is they brought in perks in to the Battle Royale. And I'm thinking, perks? Okay, so I'm thinking over here, I'm like, okay, y'all bring in perks in. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, well, this is a beta, or not really a beta, but this is like, you guys will get what I'm saying. It's kind of like a beta, but it's like an early test or something like that. Not really like a beta, but like a test or something like that. I forgot what they called it. Like a sneak peek of it, basically. That's what they said. So I was thinking perks, okay. And maybe there's not going to be nothing too bad in there. Next thing I know, I boot up into a match. There's a guy who literally can just stand still. Like, literally just stand still and be invisible. And camp in there. And I'm like, wow. Y'all brought that perk over. Thinking that was a smart idea. And I'm like thinking, oh my god. I guess it couldn't get any worse. Which... It did. Some dude literally was just camping behind a tree the whole time. Facts, the whole time he was just camping behind a tree the whole time. And I was thinking, oh wow. And he was using a Grognak axe, and basically that's just like a character in the Fallout verse, and basically that's just one of his weapons that's in the game. But he's using a Grognak axe, and he literally took on a 4-man squad. One with power armor, one those that were not in power armor, and slayed them like they were nothing. Like he went through the guy who had power armor, full power armor on, with everything, full power armor on with everything. Like you think a nuke couldn't even like bust this tin can open, but no. Literally, he sliced to the guy that had power armor on, which, if you don't know what power armor is, basically it's the type of armor that you use in Fallout that you don't take as much damage by. But this guy goes up, hits him with Grognak's axe, and then kills him. I didn't even shoot at the guy who was in power armor. I killed his friend though. Now that was something I did. And I was thinking, oh god. I was like, yep, this is dead. This is dead. Because I remembered for some reason that the melee weapons in Fallout 4 and Fallout, at least I remembered in Fallout 4, were OP. Like, if you were using melee weapons, like, they were OP. Like, they were super OP. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, why not scale the weapons like they do in like Fortnite? At least Fortnite scales their weapons. I'm not happy that they scale weapons, but you get the point. Like I consistently want my shotgun to do at least 70 damage, and I was like, oh well, that may be too OP. They're like, oh, maybe it'd be too OP, and it's like, oh, but I kind of hate not doing consistent 70 damage when it says that the shotgun can do about, I don't know, 73 damage each, and I'm thinking, well, people say, well, they scale it so it's not too OP, and I was like, it's a shotgun. A shotgun's supposed to be OP. Obviously, most people don't get what a shotgun's OP-ness. It's supposed to, like, I'll say this, I give Activision this, or at least Treyarch this. At least they can put consistent shotgun damage in a game compared to Fortnite. Fortnite, yeah. And then the boom bow. Oh my God, take that weapon out. Take it out. I don't want it anymore. It's like opening up a present on Christmas morning and then figuring out that it was a box of coal when you get killed by it. Or at least that's how I feel when I get killed by it. Like, nobody asked for the boom bow was okay at first, but it's like, no, nobody really asked for the boom bow. Or at least I didn't. I asked for it at first and I was like, no, this weapon is a one shot, even if you have shield on. They said they fixed it, they really didn't. But yeah, where's this guy at? Oh dang. But nah, what was it? Anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say, but I thought Battle Royale was okay. I didn't really think the Battle Royale, at first I thought it was okay, and then I figured out that adding a Battle Royale into Fallout 76 was not a good idea. Whoever came up with that idea needs to get fired over at Bethesda. I'm just saying. I'm just saying right now, they need to get fired. But what was it? But yeah, anyway. Now let me think. And then I watched Microsoft's E3. Microsoft had some pretty good games. Um, they showed off Dying Light 2, which if y'all know, I've played Dying Light on this channel. I haven't done a Let's Play on it. I mainly played with my friends on here, but that was back in the day when I was when I really was like not interested in YouTube, or at least I cussed a lot, I'm gonna admit it. I cussed a lot back then. I don't know, but nowadays I'm kind of trying to be, I'm not trying to go, I'm not trying to go off the handle, I'm trying to ease back, relax, just trying to relax, and trying to not let one slip out, because I want to look I don't want people, or at least kids, going on my channel and be like, oh dude, this guy cusses. Like, I don't want to be a bad influence, as most people say. Like, you don't want to be a bad influence, and then like a parent watches and it's like, oh, you watch this person and he cusses. It's like, oh, then I gotta get into that, but you guys get the point. I don't want to be a bad influence to people. Oh dang. But Microsoft, what did they show off? They showed off the new Xbox Scarlet, which I thought, nah, whatever. I was like, well, let's see how long that. And they're like, oh, well, this comes out next year, holiday next year, and I'm like, first off, Microsoft, I know you guys do know that most people during the holidays times, either, unless you're basically don't care, or you don't have a tradition, which, my family does have traditions during, the holidays, where people sometimes go out and get people gifts. Now I don't know how, like, I've heard most families don't do that, which is weird to me. You know, it's the season of giving, not receiving. Well, it is kind of receiving, but you guys get the point. Yeah, sometimes during the holidays you gotta get people stuff. Not expensive. Well, it could be expensive, but you gotta get it. You know, get people something. You know, I don't know how people don't go without it though. Like without getting people stuff on holidays times. Maybe because you know it's hard times during the holidays, and you know just sucks because of how many, like, even if you're working, you got to deal with so many people during the holidays time. Like I've heard very interesting stories during Black Friday and all that, but I might save that for another time, maybe. But maybe that's the reason. I don't know. There you go. I had to plug in my controller. It was dying. And what else? But yeah, maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But I really just didn't care because, you know, I really wasn't interested in this. Like, and they're like, well, we're gonna ship the new Halo with it. And I'm like, the only good Halos were the first, second, and third. In my opinion, those are the only good Halos. And because people say, well, no, the fourth one was okay. It's like, I don't care. I played the fourth one and wasn't that interested. The third and Otis was pretty good. Or whatever it's called, Otis. Forgot what his name. Otis. I don't know. That was a good game too. Mostly those are the few Halo games that I liked. Or at least most people like. What other games did they show off? I forgot of the other games. They showed off the Gears 5, which, you know, that was okay. That was okay. Uh, they showed off that State of Decay 2 was getting another, like, a giant expansion pack. If you guys don't know what that game is, I've probably mentioned it on my channel multiple times. But I played the first one. The first game was made by Undead Labs, and they did a good job. And then State of Decay 2 came out, and it was a buggy mess. I kind of blame, not blame Microsoft. Oh yeah, sorry guys. What was it? Oh yeah, sorry about that. My controller sometimes has a little glitch in it where it'll just stop, like the whole thing will just stop working for a good few minutes until I unplug the charger from it, and then it'll start working. But that's besides the point. Getting into it, State of Decay. I don't blame Microsoft for State of Decay 2 because they've kind of been turning it around a little bit. I actually recently got on it a few days ago to check. I was like, ah, maybe they turned it around. Maybe it's like a No Man's Sky where they'll turn it around. It wasn't that bad, like No Man's Sky bad, but you guys get the point. I'm hoping it's not like that. Like, you know, like it's not gonna be like that, but maybe they'll turn it around. So I looked over it, and there was two updates, and then one that said ready to install. And I was like, oh, maybe they did do something while I didn't play State of Decay 2 for a good while. They came out with the first DLC pack, which was Daybreak. Daybreak was pretty good, not gonna lie.
like compared to Independence Day, which kind of didn't add that much except for a few vehicles and new weapons. I was like, ah, this is a good idea. You know, maybe they're trying to do something with it. Maybe they're trying to do something with the game. And they said that they were listening to the fans. There's not that many bugs in the game anymore, which is good. Um, I remember a lot of people dogged on the game when it first came out. I was like, man, maybe y'all guys didn't like the first game's mechanics, but the story, at least you gotta give the story something. And then, what was it? This new expansion, they only showed it a little, like they only showed it off. And it was basically this one's gonna tie into the first game story and map, which I'm kind of happy about. And you're probably wondering, well, didn't the Daybreak cost money? And yeah, I think it did, to be honest. But for me, I got it free because something about a deluxe edition. And I didn't buy the deluxe, I bought the ultimate edition. So I got that for free. So I was kind of happy about it. But then I was not really happy I didn't get the expansion. But I mean, at least it's not that pricey. It's like $10. That's a good deal right there. I tried the Daybreak out, and it's basically a round survival. You gotta make it to like a certain amount of rounds, and then you get points by killing, or like either making each round or ending each round. The highest round I got to was 4. And it's not like COD Zombies where you gotta get it to a certain one, then do the Easter egg. No, it's just basically a round survival. You gotta keep these walls up from breaking for like all these feral zombies and juggernauts bust it down and get to this one person. And you get points for doing it. And they're like, well, and then like the developers like, oh, if you do it on online, then it's easier or something like that. And I'm like, I ain't going out and paying for Xbox Live. Like, I'm already paying 60 some bucks for PlayStation Plus. I ain't paying no 60 or 50 bucks for Xbox Live. That's like on the whole game right there. But that's just my opinion. But I thought this expansion might be pretty good if it ties into the first game, because I really did like the first game. Maybe it'll go into the original survivors. I don't know. I don't want to go too long into it because I don't know if you guys know about State of Decay or are fans of it. And then Microsoft has actually purchased a ton of companies from what I heard. Obsidian, uh, and then like a few others, but mostly Obsidian, and they showed off Outer Worlds, which I might actually get Outer Worlds when that comes out. Believe me, if you saw Outer Worlds, it's like it's basically Obsidian are the original people who made the Fallout games, the good Fallout games like New Vegas, and I'd say to extent 3 because they did borrow assets from 3, but that's besides the point. um, I'm hoping that this game's actually really good, to be honest, because I look at it and I'm like, maybe Microsoft is going to do us good. Maybe they might do something good. Maybe they're trying to get more exclusives to compete with Sony. And I'm thinking a little competition does not hurt. But I've heard from most people saying that from Microsoft purchasing these companies that us people who are PlayStation, well, I'm not a PlayStation fan. I play PlayStation, but I'm not the type of person that picks a side, a console side. Like, why not pick all sides, you know? But besides the point, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe it might hurt Sony a little bit. But Sony, on the other hand, has good exclusives too, like Spider-Man, PS4, God of War, a few others. The new game that came out, that PlayStation came out with, Days of Gone or whatever. I heard that one. It looks pretty good. And then like a few other exclusives. And then maybe I don't know. Maybe people are right. And and then basically the one that I actually saw, or at least I was hyped about, was the Square, well, not really a Squaresoft, but one of the games on Square that Square's going to make is the Avengers game, like one of the Avengers games. And it looked really good. And they said something about the people who own PlayStations, they're going to have access to a beta or something. And that they're going to have like PlayStation exclusive things. And at the end of like one of the trailers, they show Hank Pym, like who is the original Ant-Man, just to let y'all know. So I was like, wow, maybe that'll be good. How long am I recording for? But yeah, maybe this year's gaming, or at least games. Oh, and another game that can. Oh God, dude, I forgot about this game. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I looked at that and I was like, this is literally the anime. This is literally playing through the game, like the anime. People like most people like, well, wasn't Z Fighter? Z Fighter looked more like the anime playing the anime, and I'm like, no, no. Z Fighter. First off, Z Fighter is a competitive fighting game. I really didn't. The only reason I kind of liked it is because it had some Budokai 3 combos in it, but that was all. And then most of the people who played it literally just spammed off in a corner, just spamming moves left and right. And I was like, no, skip this game, skip this game. And then, Z Fighter is not for me. But nah, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot kind of reminds me of either Budokai Tenkaichi 3 or Budokai 3 story-wise. Because it brings back to that old Dragon Ball, the old Dragon Ball games. And it's made in Unreal, so that's good. I'm back. I'm back, guys. But no, going back to what I was saying about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, it looks pretty good. I mean, they're making it in the Unreal Engine. Like, maybe Bandai is trying to turn themselves around, and they're finally realizing that, hey, maybe we should start making our games in the Unreal Engine because it's easy and the games look good. Like, maybe they should have done that when Xenoverse 2 was coming out. Put that in the Unreal Engine. Now, I'm hoping that when Xenoverse 3 comes out, it's made in the Unreal Engine. And it looks exactly like the fighting looks exactly like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Maybe. I'm hoping it's like that. Like it's your character going through the Dragon World, yada yada yada. Fighting, getting all these transformations. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. Because I've seen one dude who's worked with the Unreal Engine, and he's made, I think, a Goku model in it. And he's gone all the way up to 5, Super Saiyan 5. So I don't think making the models in there is pretty hard if he can do it. It's got to start it from scratch, too. Well, he went all the way up to 5. But then he had a separate God class where now he goes up to Ultra Instinct. Which I think was pretty cool. So yeah, the future for Dragon Ball games actually is looking pretty good. Now I'm hoping, and this is just a hope, that Bandai realizes that we want Xenoverse 3 in Unreal. Or at least I want it in Unreal. It'd be pretty cool. Like, you look at it in a way and it's like, yeah, maybe. Maybe it might be a good game. Seeing your character charge up, following Goku, and all that. The only problem I have, maybe, with the game, it's just a maybe, little maybe, is that it does not go all the way up to Super. So for you guys who are looking forward to seeing Super Saiyan Blue and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, that probably won't be happening. I'm saying maybe, or in a probably. The only reason I'm saying probably is because people might be forgetting there's going to be DLC probably. There's going to be DLC. There's going to be definite DLC. So I'd be pretty happy they came out with it with Super Saiyan Blue. And I think it's kind of like Dragon Quest. Maybe kind of like Dragon Quest a little bit, which I'm not mad about. Kind of happy about it. Like they said something about Goku having eating, something about him eating that replenishes something. I forgot what it was, but if you guys want to know more, just go to IGN or something, look it up, look more information up about the game. Yeah, I guess that's all I got to say about E3. It was okay, but there was some, like, EA felt, their streams felt like lifeless. But nah, most games I'm kind of waiting for is Kakarot, the Avengers game, and most people were speculating that the Avengers game is linked into the Spider-Man PS4. Because in a mission, well, not really a mission, but when you go to the Avengers Tower, Peter Parker, or at least Spider-Man, basically says, it's like the Avengers Tower. And he's like, but they hardly use it. And he's like, but they're somewhere out in the West. And the trailer shows them in San Francisco. So I was thinking, wow. So maybe that means these two games are linked. Maybe Insomniac. Or maybe they're linking it to Insomniac's Spider-Man. So we can possibly have Spider-Man in the game. And then they said customization. Oh my god. Like, they showed, I think, the Mark 43. I forgot what mark it was. But it was a spacesuit. Of one of Tony Stark's Iron Man's spacesuits. So, if, and this is a if they can, I want to see a Hulk Buster. Just see that, or maybe the Thor, the God Buster, like something like that, Thor Buster, something like that. Now that would make the game pretty good. But I guess that's all I gotta say about E3. Yeah. Except for they had some good stuff at E3. Some companies were not really good. EA was on the bottom of my list. Then probably Bethesda. And then I probably picked Microsoft. And then I really didn't see Nintendo, that much of Nintendo, to be honest. And then Square Enix was okay, I guess. All they did was remasters. The guy comes up on stage. We heard you wanted remasters. So here you go. You want Final Fantasy VII remaster? Here's more Final Fantasy VII. And then and then the guy, the director of Xenoverse, comes out. Buy more DLC. Buy more DLC. You know you want it. $20. And then a fan comes up. $20. Can you make it about 10? No, $20. $20. Take or leave. And it's like, what? Come on, man. You're just gonna give me like $10 is a good price. No, $20. We gotta milk this game for all we have. You know, I was thinking, it's like, well, I was like, wow. Like, it's just see that guy's come out on E3, or the director of Xenoverse. But nah, I've seen how, or not seen, but usually when that guy goes up on stage, he's really genuine about how he wants the game to be. I don't know what's been going on with Xenoverse, but I kind of quit playing it recently because the netcode, they said they fixed the netcode, really didn't fix the netcode. Not only that, but no new parallel quests, no new free updates. Like, they need to, what they need to realize is Fortnite is doing theirs either weekly on the weekends or every Friday, Thursday, Saturday. I don't know when they do theirs, to be honest, but they do theirs pretty regularly from what I know. And then sometimes they have breaks, which is not that bad, but you look at it and you see how Fortnite is still alive. Well, in my opinion. It might not be to others, like I said. If you don't agree, that's your opinion. But you see how Fortnite comes out with their updates and everything, like, and you see how much content this game has. Even when they have new battle passes and everything, they still come out with new weapons and all that, which is good. I do accept the game having more weapons if they're not OP. But besides the point, if Xenoverse 2 was able to do that, like how Fortnite's doing right now, the game would not be as dead as it is. Most of the original players have left. Most of the original players have left who've played Xenoverse, who started Xenoverse. I left. That's how bad it is. I left. I played Xenoverse 2 since it first came out. I've been playing, well, since it first came out. You guys get the point there. But the problem is there's no content in the game. After a while, it just gets boring. And I think Bandai has realized that we're leaving. So you know what they're doing? Rano-san comes out. He's like, yeah, hey, notice that some of our fan base is leaving. And then like the guy's like, what guy in the room is in there is with him. He's like, oh yeah, I do notice that some of our fan base is leaving. He's like, I wonder why. And he's like, I don't know, maybe because you keep putting out more DLC. You know, we're not making Xenoverse 3 probably for a long time. He's like, but isn't that what more people want, more DLC? And he's like, no, dude. No, we don't want more They don't want more DLC. I told you this multiple times, guy, Hirano-san. Like, you know, we don't want more DLC. We just want more. We want Xenoverse 3. We want a good game. We want a game like, imagine Xenoverse 2 when it came out, but it came out with mods or something like that. Generally mods, maybe.
Super Saiyan 5 Goku, what ifs, all that. Kind of like how Bethesda did. That'd be a fun game. But no. You know, I mean, like, you say, well, every game doesn't have mods. It's like, yeah, but they could. Just incorporate a system where you can just download mods and then it instantly puts in files for it, like how Bethesda did. That's what made Skyrim and Fallout 4. That's why they're still alive, is because of the mods. Like, what do you think? What do you think? Why do you think they're still alive, or at least they're still thriving? It's because they've been, or at least, why do you think most people still play Skyrim in that? Like, most of the people still play Skyrim because of the mods. Them, P. Hines and Todd Howard might go up on stage and it's like, because people like Skyrim. No, it's because of the mods. Once you play through Skyrim and beat it, you mod it. And then put more stuff in there. I literally put a TARDIS in there, and because I was bored, and just like started like flying around through space time. And it was pretty fun. And I started putting in home mods and all that. Just check them out. If Xenoverse 3 had mods and there was one for Super Saiyan 4, I'd instantly download it. Be pretty, like I said, it'd be great idea, like business wise. They wouldn't be making money off of it, but at least they'd have more people playing the game and maybe purchasing the DLC. Because I'll say this. Bethesda, from what they've done to Fallout 4, they've kind of messed up with the mods. Not messed up, but you guys get the point. They messed it up. The reason they messed it up is because they've been wanting paid mods. And now the modding's been free for ever since, you know, the modding communities have been up. It's been free. And Bethesda's tried this before. Just let you know, Bethesda has tried paid mods before and it's failed. And they've been trying to do paid mods ever since. Even though Pete Hines would have came up on stage and said, oh no, they're just mini DLCs. No, they're paid mods. But yeah, I wouldn't guess for a split second, fucking Xenoverse would have done it. Xenoverse would probably do it too, so. Sorry, I let one slip there for a second, you know. Sometimes you gotta let them slip, and sometimes they just slip. It's like when a person just is walking and they slip on a banana peel. At least that's what I equate it to. No, what was it? Oh yeah. So now I guess I'm done with that whole deal. I really didn't want to rant this whole time, to be honest. Or at least I didn't want it to go on for so long. So now it's just gonna be. It might be me being silent for a little bit because I gotta concentrate. You know, sometimes when you're playing a game, you gotta concentrate. Like, you know, you see this guy landing behind you. This guy right here. 118, that's not that bad, but how did he still have shield? I shot him for 72. See, that's what I mean, the shotguns are kind of unbalanced in this game. Especially the TAC. I shot a dude for 180 some with the TAC one time. And then next thing you know, you go back to shooting that 20 damage, 30 damage, 40 damage. I shot with the combat shotgun and it only did 20 damage one time. That's kind of atrocious if you think about it. Oh, that's the guy who killed me earlier. Well, he had that coming. But what was it? Oh yeah, oh yeah. What was I gonna say? But yeah, hopefully you guys, my subscribers are doing pretty good recently. And if you're having any tough times, or I said times. Jesus, English is hard. But if you're going through tough times, oh my God, I did it again. If you're going through tough times, I hope I wanted to, make a video to where you guys can laugh and, forget about the tough times. Have something to get away from life and, Okay, who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Is this the same guy from earlier? No, it's not. It's not the same guy. Yeah, boy, that's what you get. Hit for 72 damage. Now I gotta find another vehicle. I think I'm gonna do that challenge next. Ooh, new weapon, I see. Haven't got to use this yet, so first time trying it. Heard that my friend told me that they put down mines on the ground and they explode. Let me shoot it once. And it has a scope on it, so I guess that's great. Now let me try to remember, are there any other vehicle spawns around this area? There's another hamster ball down there, but it's a different vehicle. Not same vehicle. I don't think this will count either way. What's up, bro?
Bad time.
I was streaming, but I mean, I guess you can come in.
I just mute my mic.
But no, I guess this will probably be my last game, guys. So, you know. I was pretty sure there's like ATK or something around here that I don't know. Hey, Ralph, you still there? I have to ask you a question.
Just spill something about juice.
Do you know, is there any ATK spawns near Shifty? Or is it ATVs? I forgot what they called them.
Nah.
Nah, aw dang. Because there's a challenge right now where you have to have a different vehicle.
You went up on near Dusty Divot.
There's one near Dusty Divot.
Like up top on that RV.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Oh, I think I don't know where one is. I think I might know where one is near Shifty, but it's in the storm.
I'll be back.
Okay. Nope, they took it. Yeah, they took it. I think they took the... Wait. Nope, that's not it. Thought that was the ATV. Usually there's like one nerd, or noob, I said nerd. There's usually one nerd somewhere around here. Oh yeah, this is overpowered. Shoots rockets. It's not even a grenade launcher. Hey, he missed. Okay, that time he did not miss. You suck. Oh, they just bounce off? So it is like a grenade launcher, except like a rocket. So think of like a rocket launcher, except mixed with a grenade launcher. Stupid. That's stupid. Ooh, I think I found one. Nope. Bro, there's gotta be something out here. Something I could use. Yeah, I don't see that. They must have took them or destroyed them. As a guy tried to kill me earlier, or he did kill me earlier. Oh dang. Well, anyway, guys, if you liked the video, hit that like button. Actually, nah. Absolutely destroy, demolish, vaporize that like button, and then do the same to the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Yep, this is the Extraordinary Sin signing out. Peace.